What's going on, Fantasy World? It's your boy, Soupy. And I'm coming to you with our last episode, and it hurts. I don't want to hear nothing else about fantasy football. I don't even want to see nor hear the word fantasy. Say farewell, Philippines, fertilizer, 4th of July, family, frequency. Don't even fix your face to say fantasy football. I'm going to knock out all your fronts, man. All your fronts. Yeah. My boys had to put me on watch. 24 hours watch after benching the number one and number two receiver in fantasy football in week 17. I drunk my own self under the table. Last night, I took a drive out to the Skyway Bridge. I got out the car and I thought about jumping. I thought about it. I got hate mail. Oh my God. So what the is wrong with you? I had a guy tell me he was going to drive to Tampa, Florida and murder me, man. Then I thought about all the people I've helped get to the championships, all my fans, all the inboxes, all the love. There's no way in hell I was jumping. There's no way in hell I'm giving up on high school fantasy football. For all those of y'all that was hating on me in my inbox, we going to be back in 2025 and the soup going to be hotter. Yeah. But right now, we're going to talk about our top 5 starts and top 5 sits that I put down in week 17. Boy, did I flop. I'm talking about I put up some of the worst takes that I have all year long. It was my worst. At the worst time, I was at my worst. Y'all needed me in the championships, and I failed y'all. But hey, I got tough skin. I'm a Bears fan. Do you know what it's like to be a Bears fan? Born in 79, baby. We ain't had a championship since I was 6 years old. I'm 45 years old. I've been in this thing doing this for 39 years without a championship. And I'm still a diehard Bears fan. It ain't never gonna leave my blood. I don't care how much hate mail y'all send me. I'ma be back. And I'ma come back harder. Yeah, let's talk about it. Shit, this is gonna hurt. My number one start. I told y'all must start. Missed by one, man. He missed by one. Bo Nix. Now, if you started Bo Nix in your fantasy championship, it wasn't a bad start. The man ended up with 22.26 points. That's right. If you're in any type of bonus league, he had more than that. 250 yards, 3 TDs, and a pick, man. You can't be mad at Bo Nix. He ended up the number 11 overall in fantasy scoring. So if you started him, it wasn't a bad start. You probably started one of those top 10 guys that flop for you. Either way, it was a miss for the soup. You got to be top 10 to be a hit. So it was a miss. My number 2 start, I said you must start. And what? Let's just be honest. Wasn't nobody benching Bucky Irving, right? Bucky Irving went off for 24 touches, 190 yards, was the number 4 overall running back in fantasy scoring, and probably helped you win your championship. 21 points. That was a hit for the soup. Boy, this one hurt because I had him starting, man, and he was in a league I was fighting for third place, man. Third place game still get your payout. I'm just trying to get that money. Trying to get that money. Breece Hall. Oh, my God, Breece Hall flopped for me. And I had somebody on my bench that I knew I should have started, and I didn't, and I would have won if I didn't. But I'm thinking Breece Hall going to have a big game going against that terrible run defense, man. Breece Hall, 11 touches, 53 yards. Aaron Rodgers and that offense in New York just looked absolutely horrible all around. 11 touches, 53 yards, number 30 overall for Breece Hall. That was a flop and a miss for me. For those of you that I told you to start Breece Hall and you started him and bench somebody better, I apologize. 5.8 points. Womp, womp, womp. Womp, 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 womp. Our next player, and I knew this guy was going to get off, and he didn't. Jawan Jennings, San Francisco on Monday night. 7 receptions for 67 yards. He did hit my 50-yard parlay that I had him on, but he still failed me in fantasy football. Ended up number 44 overall with 10.2 fantasy points. That is a terrible miss, but it gets worse. I lost 2 of my championships. I was in 6 championships out of 18 leagues. That's 1/3 of my leagues I made it to the championship this year. Ended up only winning 3 of those championships. Lost 2 that I had Terry McLaurin starting in. Terry, what is you doing out here? I benched Trey McBride for Terry McLaurin. Terry gets me 1 point. Trey McBride gets me 32. If I would have had Trey playing, I'd have won my championship. I'm sick, man. I'm sick. This is part of the reason why Soup was going to jump. Yeah, I was going to jump. What y'all know about the Skyway Bridge in Bradenton, the bridge that takes you from St. Petersburg, Florida to Bradenton, Florida? What y'all know about that bridge? Do a little Google on it. Hot Soup was at the top, man. They built a gate. I was going to climb the gate. Goodness, man. Terry McLaurin, 1 point, 1 reception. Man, had like 10 targets or something. Man, they could not connect. Ended up number 108 receiver. I could not have given you guys a receiver that did worse. It would have been a guy who didn't play. Listen, moment of silence, man. Moment of silence for Hot Soup. The Soup was not hitting in week 17. Yeah, I said it, man. I was terrible. All that hate mail I got, I deserved it. Shit. Got to do better, man, in 2025. Now, I know I only hit 1 out of my 5 starts. I know it. It was terrible. But go back 16 weeks worth of I told you so's. I've been hot. I've been plus on my picks all year long. I might have had 3 bad weeks out of 17. Y'all got to give me some love. The subscribers is going up. The inboxes is going up. The comment section going up. The views been going up. That lets me know I'm doing something right. And even if I ain't, man, y'all love me. It is what it is. We're going to go over our top 5 sits. Top 5 sits. I told you must sit these guys in week 17, and they all burnt me. Oh, I think I went 1 for 5 on my sits as well. Number 1, T. Higgins. If you go back and look at my show, I said, my boy Jamar Chase is all over the field. There's no way Surtain is going to just follow him all over the field. He's going to stick on T. Higgins, who is just as good of a receiver as Jamar Chase. Pause. No, he's not. Jamar Chase is a far better receiver, in my opinion, when he gets the ball in his hands. But running routes and getting the ball in your hands, they the same guy, in my opinion. They both can route run. T. Higgins may even be better at high pointing the ball. Of course, that guy is a beast. But I thought the Surtain would be on Higgins. I was incorrect, man. That boy Surtain followed Jamar Chase all around the field, and T. Higgins had the best game of his damn career. And I told you the bench, he was my number 1 sit. My God, Soup. Y'all told me so. T. Higgins, 12 targets, 11 receptions, 131 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He was the number 1 receiver in fantasy football in the championship week. If you started T. Higgins and told Soup, man, congratulations. If you listen to the Soup, I apologize, man. I did you wrong. And our number 2 player that I told you must sit was a hit for me. Rico Dowdle. That's right. He fell outside the top 20. He was number 24 overall. Rico Dowdle, 24 touches for 108 yards, no TDs. Got him 9.3 fantasy points. He had a fumble. That's right, man. Look, check it out. Rico Dowdle. If you sat him and started somebody else, hopefully they got more points than Rico. He was a decent play, but he was a hit for the Soup. That's right, RB3. Our number 3 player, I told you must bench, and I hope you did, because this was a big hit for the Soup. Cooper Kupp. That's right, man. Cooper Kupp, 1 reception, 29 yards. That's it. Ended up number 74 overall in fantasy scoring. That is a hit for the Soup. Man had 3.4 fantasy points. This is him from week, 11 and on. He will not be a top tier receiver drafted in 2025. Puka Nacua is that man. Our number 4 player that I told you must sit again, burn me. Burn me earlier in the season. I said bench Sam Darnold. I said do it again against that tough defense he was playing. But 377 yards later, 3 touchdowns and an interception, ended up number 7 overall fantasy quarterback. That was a miss for the Soup. 25.78 points. Sam Darnold has been him all year long. Ain't nothing gonna change. And our number 5 player, this one hurts bad. This one hurts because this is also a guy that I benched myself. Remember, when I'm coming on here and I'm telling you to bench him, I'm benching him. Malik Neighbors. Hot Soup. You went with Neighbors in your starting lineup all year long. Some weeks was good, some weeks was bad. No quarterback play going on over there. I'm thinking it's at its worst right now. And this man goes crazy. I'm talking about nuts. Best game of his career. 7 receptions, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns, 32.6 points. Falls right below T. Higgins as the number 1 and number 2 overall receivers in fantasy football in the championship. Hot Soup told y'all to bench. And I benched him. And I lost in 2 of those 3 leagues that I was supposed to win the championship in. That's right. I should be 5 championships in this year, and I have 3. I am sick. I am done with fantasy football until 2025. Hey, I appreciate all my fans. I appreciate all the subscribers. Tell your friends, tell your family. The Soup about to turn up that stove in 2025. Come check me out, y'all. It's your boy, Soupy. Bear down. And I'm out.